This live stream is presented to you by MaxspeedTV. All live streaming content that is presented in this telecast is owned by MaxspeedTV, Rudy Cummings, and the entire crew of MSTV. This may not be rebroadcasted, retransmitted, and retelevised without written consent. Please enjoy today's broadcast. Welcome everybody here live for tonight's event, getting set to go green. Round number 5 out of 6 at the Thompson International Speedway, aka Thompson Motorsports Park. Thompson Speedway Motorsports Park, excuse me. But yeah, here with Dewey Stram in the booth rather than our classic Benjamin Wyatt. Unfortunately, Benjamin couldn't make it here for tonight, but we have Dewey in to fill Benjamin as replacement.
Hi.
Yep. Well, yeah, getting set to go green here in just a moment, but currently practice underway as of right now, and you're about to say something?
No, I was going to say Benjamin's down at Five Flags watching some local racing, so hopefully he has a good time there, wearing a mask, of course. So I'll be here tonight, and Benjamin will do the late model race on Sunday night, so don't expect me there, but I'm excited for tonight. First street stock race I'll be doing all season, so definitely a change to what I've been usually doing, I guess, is most of what I've been doing so far is just road racing, but good to see some good old street stock racing again.
Yeah, practice just ended. We're going to go scoot ourselves to the side, play the national anthem. We'll get back to you with points and other stuff as well with track facts. Welcome everybody back here live here for the iSCAR YAS Street Stock Tour, getting set to go green in just a moment. Race number 5 out of 6. We're coming down to closing time here in just a moment, so therefore, as points stand, this is going to be very, very important on how this will all turn out. And Nick Miller does not show up. He's currently away from the computer, unfortunately. So Miller in that number 88. Man, he might have just lost the championship, even though he's the leader.
The only solace for him is with street stocks having these full fields. You know, if those top couple guys, maybe from 2nd through probably about 6th, if they so happen to, unfortunately, fail to qualify for tonight's main event or crash out early, Nick may not suffer as much of a points loss as otherwise, but I'm not sure. I haven't really checked the driver leaderboard yet, how many people in the top 10 did show up tonight, but depending on how many did, Nick might escape with still a chance to win next week.
Yeah, and I know next week is going to be very hectic, especially at Charlotte Motor Speedway, where everybody's just full on the gas and such. Pretty sure a lot of people are going to show up there for tonight. We're going to go ahead and pop up our qualifying order on the top of your screen. Currently, Aaron Mulrooney on top, Connor Brandon in second, Charlie Byer in third. But yeah, we'll take a look around at some drivers just roaming through the track right now. Matt Johnson in number 191. Like a nice showing here at Thompson. Works himself right up off the corner. Oh my gosh, that's really close to the wall, but the 191 currently sitting 24th.
Yeah, so those top 3 spots are especially important because, of course, qualifying in the top 3 here guarantees you a spot in this main event as the top 3 lock themselves in and will not have to go through the heats. So for right now, those top 3 at the top are guaranteed some spots in the main event.
We have Hunter Rupp in the 61, currently sitting 18th in practice as of right now, working himself into turn number 3. Michael Bianchini looks like he's logged in 37th. Not a great lap for him. Damian Fenton back onto the racetrack. I haven't seen that man in a while. Glad to see him here on the racetrack at Thompson.
Fenton, yeah! Looks like a scheme. The scheme hasn't loaded yet, but he's there. Looks like Dan Neese actually showed up tonight. I'm not sure how much he's raced in iSCAR outside of the IMSA series, but interesting to see that 161 on a short track. So we'll have to see how he stacks up with the competition, as we usually see him dominating on the roadside.
Yeah, he told me he's usually a road driver, and of course, it's going to be a total contrast for him because for him racing on the oval side, not only is it oval for him, these are very, very competitive guys. Of course, Aaron Mulrooney, Connor Brandon, Charlie Byer, those are very, very established not road racers, but oval racers here in iSCAR. We'll go ahead and round out qualifying. Congratulations to Aaron Mulrooney, Connor Brandon, and Charlie Byer. The 3 will transfer onto the feature. With that being said, we'll go ahead and scoot ourselves into heat number 1.
Yeah, some quick track facts about Thompson Motor Speedway, or Speedway Motorsports Park, whatever word combination you want to use. 0.6225 miles here, so about 5/8 of a mile here, located in Thompson, Connecticut, right near the Massachusetts and Rhode Island borders. This track did host 3 Cup Series races back in 1951, 1969, and 1970, so this track does have some interesting racing history. Of course, it hosted the K&N East Series from, I believe, the late 80s up until 2018. Last year's race was canceled. So there is a good amount of racing that has gone on here. So I'm sure, of course, with the street stocks coming here a lot of these guys should have some experience at what I think is one of the cooler short tracks in the country.
Definitely, and with this being a free track and such, I know this being ran in week 13. Should be a lot of fun to see on how these drivers will line up here for this one. How about Dewey, go ahead and take us through the weather here for tonight.
Meteorologist Dewey Schramm with your Thompson race day forecast. Our current temperature is 73 degrees with a partly cloudy sky. Track temperature is 75, so a relatively cool racing surface overall. Humidity just 1%, it's pretty dry. Winds coming out of the southwest at about 7 or so miles per hour, so I think we've got some pretty good racing conditions here as the field starts to pace for heat number 1.
Alright, and this is going to be a 7-lap heat event, so again, we're going to be running only 2 heats, I think. Let me get, yep, looks like heat 3 did get skipped, but yeah, 2 heats for this one. That means 8 people will transfer on from that LCQ. So the top 3 is definitely going to be tight for this heat event as the field works themselves off of turn number 4. The pace car does not pull off in, even though the pace car lights are off. Sort of pranked there. Yeah.
Pranked me. So Malachi Drake and Christopher Weil are your front row for this first heat. Christopher, I believe, currently either 2nd or 3rd in Cup Series in street stock points right now. Kealoha Hankins, I believe, is 4th in points, so valuable points on the line for both of those guys, and they need to do what they can to stay in that top 3 and get to the main event.
Definitely, and we scoot ourselves down the back straightaway 2 by 2, getting heat number 1 up and away. The pace car will scoot itself onto pit road. Malachi Drake will lead the field to the initial start. Let's go racing here at Thompson. We're green here for heat number 1.
Green's out. Green flag. Green flag.
Malachi with a good start, pulling a little bit ahead of Christopher here into turn number 1. Hankins trying to do something, but not quite yet for him, as Patterson looks to be sliding a little bit back on the inside. He might be a bit loose. Contact in the back, but they hold on.
Whoa, contact toward the front, the 99 up the track, Brody Garner. Hits the wall,
yeah, Gardner.
the 99, and around
around
goes.
back.
Don't know who that was. But there's 2 by 2. Looks like 3 wide all the way to the apron side of the racetrack. That's Gretz, and around goes Brody.
Oh, there goes, Hunter reps around, Matt Johnson. Oh, geez, that's going to be a huge wreck. Dan Neeson there. Oh, watch out. Oh, my goodness, that was close.
Yeah, all those people, unfortunately, will have to slide themselves off into the LCQ portion of the night's race. We scoot around for 5 laps to go, this time by Christopher Weil. And Dominic Howe and Malachi Drake are pulling away. Those are the top 3 who are transferred in on board with an 0-2 and Josh Patterson trying to get himself forward, but he has a mirror full of that number 75, Keloa Hankins. They work themselves down the front straightaway. This time by, this will be 4 laps to go for that top 3.
Hankins. And Hankins trying to get 4th on the low side, can't quite make it work yet. Patterson will retain. Here comes Kendrick on the low side. He is up there in points as well, so he needs to make this main event as well. He wants to try and get past Nick Miller in points.
Malachi Drake washes up the track, and this is for the transfer spot. To the low side goes the 0-2 of Patterson, and he'll easily take it. I think he will. He tries to slide up in front of the 90.
Whoa!
Contact is made. They both scramble for
Kendrick.
control.
Oh, someone's around.
Wheels around.
around. The leaders have wrecked. Put
Wow.
Josh Patterson now to the lead with 2 laps to go.
Unbelievable. The leader's wreck, and Christopher Wheel goes around. He will drop back all the way to 13th place. We'll get a quick replay of what happened. It looks like a bit of contact there with Dominic Howe in the 58. But meanwhile, here for this transfer position, Alex K. Gretz out of nowhere as we take the white flag.
Yeah, Ryan Kendrick now into 2nd place as well. He was just, you think, 5th or 6th. So here comes Gretz for 2nd place now on the low side. Don't be too aggressive, because this is for the transfer spot. You don't want to wreck each other out of it. But into turn 3, Josh Patterson, now out of turn number 4, will win heat number 1.
No! Gretz goes around!
He goes! Who's going to get 2nd place? They're both up and over! Keloa Hankins is 2nd. Malachi Drake up and on the wall in 3rd. Oh my goodness.
I have no idea who even got 3rd. And backwards, Malachi Drake gets into the feature. Oh my gosh. That was crazy. Maybe a bit too hectic. I have never seen anything in my life like that.
Someone just launched as well. I don't know who that was, but
Keloa Hankins gets 2nd place off of all that mess. And he puts himself.
Flipped. Yeah, Gretz just lost it out of turn 4 and collected Ryan Kendrick, so that's going to be huge for Kendrick in points, because he's going to have to go through one of the LCQ events now.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Man, if that's a bit of foreshadowing of what we're going to have here for tonight, oh boy, it's going to be a hectic one.
I'm all for it.
Yeah, same here, man. Wow. That was amazing. But we get set for heat number 2. The order's going to be shown on the left-hand side of the screen. Poindexter, Sage, Hill, Coners, Nozowski showing up here for tonight for a street stock event. Berge, Hobbs, Ansnes, Macaulay, Sampson round out the top 10. Schmidt, Canizaro, McGrath, Klein, Bethune, Gother, Bianchini, Liza Swain, and Urich round out the rest of the order. But as we get set here to go green, oh boy, I'm shaking after that first heat.
Yeah, I thought those top 3 had it decided, but I guess Gretz got a little too greedy, because if he had let off just a little bit, he probably still would have ended up 3rd in that heat, and it would have advanced on, but he dove it in too hard to try and get 2nd and ended up knocking himself and Ryan Kendrick out of transfer spots. So Malachi Drake got gift-wrapped a transfer spot right there, because he was on the outside looking in. I think he was 5th or 6th coming out of that last turn.
Yeah, definitely. They worked themselves 2 by 2 action through under pacing, of course. Looks like only 16 drivers in. Canizar, Joshua Liza Swain, and Max Urich do not grid up. But the number 1 of Poindexter, he had some horrible luck at Phoenix. Did not make the feature event after getting wrecked out up front in that transfer spot. But he's going to be starting in first. If he gets a good jump over Tyler Sage in that number 186, we haven't talked about him. Sage, it looks like, I think he's making one of his very few starts here for tonight. Tyler Sage, the 186, you see him right there in second place. I'm interested to see on how he does here for this second heat.
Yeah, there's some guys, of course, that I personally haven't seen race much because I think they only do the street stocks. Tyler Connors in the 45, another one of those guys, only runs this series, so I'm curious to see if he can make his way up into that top 3 as well. And if James Hill can stay up there.
Definitely. We work themselves 2 by 2 action into 3 and 4. The pace car is in. Leader's discretion to hit the throttle, and he up and away goes the number 1 of Poindexter. We're green here for heat number 2.
Poindexter with a good jump into turn 1. JJ Hill in the 97 looks to get second here from Sage. And Tyler's going to have a really tough time trying to get down to the bottom as Mitch Hobb gets loose and fortunately does not wreck.
And good job for Mitch keeping it off that number, looks like the 45 of Tyler Connors. Nearly hit him right there into the corner, but a lot of people, up the track. One car just blew a motor. That's the 13. Regan McAculey, yeah, and that number 13. McAculey, I totally butchered that one. Apologies about that.
Whoa! Oh, there goes someone in the background. I think that was Brandon Sampson in the 96. Oh, another car on the wall. Connor's on the wall now.
Oh, there's more wrecking in the back.
Oh, huge crash right there. Oh, man, these guys are wasting no time. This is almost like a demolition derby rather than a street stock heat.
Yeah, definitely. We work ourselves down the back straightaway. You saw multiple people get loose right up off that second corner. That's definitely going to be one of the places to watch. But speaking of places to watch, Mitch Hobbs getting loose, and around goes the 89.
Connors makes contact with him, and Connors is going to go around on the grass. Holds onto it, but he's way out of a transfer spot. Now, Chris Nazowski, who started, I think, 6th or 7th, now in second place and in a spot to transfer into the main event.
Yeah, definitely. Worked themselves right up off the corner of Poindexter. The gap between him and the 22 is less than a second, but luckily, all these two have to do is just keep themselves where they are, and they will be in the feature here for tonight. They worked themselves off of 2, and how about JJ Hill? You mentioned about him. He's in 3rd.
Yes. Yeah, he started 3rd, and for now he's been able to keep himself there, of course, with all the commotion around him, and whoa, he locks the brakes up right there into turn 3. That's going to lessen the gap between him and 4th place Josh Anthony as someone's gone around on the front stretch.
Look at this battle for, oh my gosh.
Oh, no! Lose it. It gets piled into by Bianchini, and that's going to probably send them both to the LCQ. White flag here in heat number 2 for Carson Poindexter, who started this heat on the pole and has led every lap so far. He's got one more lap to transfer himself in.
Yeah, and Nazowski really closing up the gap for that second position, but unfortunately, it's too little too late. But it doesn't matter because both of them will get into the feature by finishing 1 and 2. Checkered flag for the number 1 of Poindexter. He'll win here, heat number 2 at Thompson.
And Chris Nazowski and JJ Hill will join him in transferring to the main event, so congrats to those 3. Tyler Sage, the first car out in 4th, and William Schmidt, second out in 5th. So I'm not sure how it works, but I think that will put Sage on the pole for the second LCQ.
Right, that will. So we're going here for this first LCQ of the night. Matt Johnson in the 191 will grid himself up on top, but starting to see some drivers slap themselves onto the racetrack. Matt Johnson will start himself up top. Dominic Howe in 2nd. Garrett Hess in 3rd. Hunter Rupp in 4th. And Jake Corway in 5th place.
Yeah, we haven't seen much of Jake Corway, but he's got a chance here to get himself into this main event. He's got was it 6 cars that can come out of this heat?
It's 8.
8. So he's starting in a transfer spot, but it's a matter of can he and the rest of these top 8 keep themselves there? Because I'm sure guys like Christopher Weil and Brody Gardner, both of which were turned around in heat number 1, definitely want to get themselves up front this time. Because of course it's now where you DNQ. And for someone like Christopher Weil, who's up there in points, a DNQ would probably pretty much wipe away any chance he has of winning the Street Stock Championship.
Definitely. And this is a 15-lap LCQ. Again, no caution is going to be ran. 15 laps to decide the top 8. So way more chances to make a very severe mistake. And with that 8th place on the line, we scroll all the way back to Lucky DiMaggio, last person inside that transfer spot. Oh boy, it's gonna be interesting to see on who's gonna get themselves in, because I see a lot of people within. Oh, looks like Matt Johnson. He didn't even start, and he didn't even grid up. That 191's gonna have to start from pits.
He was supposed to be on the pole for this LCQ, so that's gonna push the bottom line up spots. Now Garrett Hess will be starting first on the bottom, and now Jake Corway will be second on the bottom. So that's going to push Brody Gardner now into 8th place on the bottom, as the pace car will dive itself down pit road, and we are green for LCQ number 1.
Out. Green flag, green flag.
Green flag as they work themselves into turn number 1. Garrett Hess on the throttle as he dukes it out with Dominic Cowan, the 58. 2x2 action into 1. One car cannot hold down the bottom. That's Corway. He falls back multiple spots, wrecking the back.
And they're all wrecking around in the back. Gretz, Dan Neese all around. That's going to be big for a while in the points, and he gets hooked again by Neese trying to get himself going. Corway's up into the wall.
And more laps in this LCQ, so...
Yeah, Wiles definitely got some work to do now to try and get himself into this main event. Liam Sheen trying to make a move now in the bottom. That's 4th position underneath Jake Corway. As that was Harry Grindle that came up and blocked that 47. So it's 2x2 here. Out of 4s. Here comes Brody trying to make a move on the inside.
Under to the inside, that number 99. All eyes are on that number 3, though. Michael DiMaggio, he's sitting in 8th place, the last person in. But Ryan Branch on the 6 is trying to fend off the 00 of Ryan Kendrick, who is not in the feature as of right now. He has to work himself up to the backside of that 3. Meanwhile, up front, the top 3 pull away. Hunter Rupp, Dominic Cowan, Garrett Hess. But the battle here for 4th is raging on.
Yeah, Rupp got loose right there, but managed to hang on. So he and these other guys, as Gardner gets really loose on the bottom, but he holds on as well. A lot of guys seem to be really loose through these heats and LCQs. So something to watch out for, not just now, but even in the main event.
Definitely, as this time by, we're going to scoop themselves. Looks like 11 laps to go this time, as Dan Neese plays the role of a lap car, trying to get out of everybody's way. Garrett Hess has to pull somewhat of a crossover there, getting himself out of harm's way. One car might have spun it in the back. That's Branshaw.
Holds on to it, though. There's someone else in the wall. That might be Dan Neese, and there goes someone else.
I think that was DiMaggio. He was sitting in 8th place, and unfortunately he drops back to top. They're wrecking again.
Corway around. And Dan Neese around as well. I think Dan's pretty much done for the night here, as Corway now no longer in a transfer spot. So Alex K. Gretz, who spun himself and Ryan Kendrick out of transfer spots in their heat, Gretz now finds himself in 8th, and Kendrick now finds himself in 7th. Will history repeat itself here with those 2?
Yeah, there's still a lot of action left here. Still 9 laps to go as Dominic Cowan retains the lead. Hunter Rupp in 2nd place, Garrett Hess in 3rd, but Hess is slowly starting to lose ground to that top 2.
Garner just moved Liam Sheen, or tried to, for 4th. Here he comes again on the bottom.
Oh, what a move!
Brody will get that spot. Nice pass by Brody. As Harry's right there as well. This is a 3-car battle here for 4th place. Brody now holding down that spot. Liam trying again on the bottom, but can't quite make it work.
Grindle at number 6. He's going to be watching from the distance into this corner, but he's luckily sitting in 6th place in the feature. We have to scroll over back to Alex K. Gretz, the first person in, and all the way back to Ryan Branshaw, the first person out.
Yeah, Christopher Weil now up to 10th place as well after being spun twice. So what Chris needs now is 2 cars in front of him to spin out so he can get himself back up into the main event. And as I said before, with Nick Miller not being here, this is the perfect opportunity for these guys 2nd through 5th in points to really capitalize. But Christopher Weil, one of those guys, now in danger of missing tonight's event.
Look at them blocking up that left rear. I mean, not left rear. What the heck am I saying? Left front. To get it turned down, the crossover move as Grindle to the low side. That's right.
And I think he might have it here out of turn 2. Liam trying to keep it on the high side. but I think Harry gets him right here into turn 3. Oh, nope, Liam kept it. But look at who's joined that battle now. Ryan Kendrick in the 00 has caught both of these cars, so a chance for him to pick a few spots up and improve his starting spot in the main event.
That's right. Sits himself in 7th place as of right now.
Gretz there as well. Yeah, Gretz isn't that far behind in 8th place. He could join this fracas pretty soon as well. He's definitely got a faster car than those 3 in front of him, I think, because he's still chopping some time off. So hopefully we don't see what happened in the heat, where he drove it in too deep and spun himself out, but you never know.
Garner the 3rd place. And that number 99.
What the? That's Dan. He's messing around with his teammate, I think, Brody.
2 laps to go, I think. Once they cross the start-finish line, as Dan is, now he gives way to his teammate, Garner, who probably got a heart attack right there. But man,
it's all in good fun though. Dan's staying out of the way for the most part, so no harm, no foul, I guess, from that 161. But coming up here on the white flag for LCQ number 1, Dominic Howe still your leader. Hunter up 2nd, Brody Gardner in 3rd. Garrett Hess, Liam Sheen, Harry Grindle, who's now going to try and pass Liam Sheen again right here. That's for 5th. Kendrick's there as well, and Gretz has caught these 3, but Kendrick's trying to make a move on the outside, and Dominic Howe will win LCQ number 1. Congrats to him for transferring in. Hunter up will join him, as Gretz actually got by Grindle. Kendrick ended up 8th in 8th place. It's Branshaw.
Branshaw.
So Ryan Branshaw, unfortunately, your first car out tonight. And Christopher Weil, who was entered tonight top 3 in points, fails to qualify. So that's huge and a bit of a break for Nick Miller. And Ryan Kendrick barely made himself in as well, so he'll start 23rd in tonight's event.
Yeah, with Kendrick making it into the feature, he has more, of course, more leeway to gain points. Interested to see on how that number 00 will fare up to the field. As long as he keeps himself steady, he will gain up, most likely gain the points lead, but we'll have to see though, because Wheel did not make the feature. Getting ourselves set for this 2nd LCQ of the night. Again, top 8 get themselves in 15-lap LCQ for this one, as Tyler Sage is going to be starting up front, William Schmidt in 2nd, Josh Ansnes in 3rd, Tyler Connors in 4th, Michael Bianchini in 5th. Engines roar to life as we get set for the 2nd LCQ of the night. Tyler Sage, the rookie, will be leading them to the green. Work down the back straightaway 2x2. William Schmidt on the high side. Josh Ansnes in 3rd. Josh also sporting a familiar paint scheme with Blue Chew, with Brody Gardner and Brandon Sampson.
And Dan Neese.
Right.
Yeah, Dan, unfortunately, one of those that missed the show tonight in the LCQ, but Blue Chew still with some representation here in this LCQ, as well as Brody in the main event. So we'll have 15 more laps to make up the last 8 drivers of tonight's field. I think from 12th place to 24th will be decided here in this event, somewhere like that.
Face cars and the green flag is out as Tyler Sage will lead it.
Green flag, green flag.
Yeah, the leaders have all been getting good jumps on the initial starts, but not all of them have been able to retain the lead, as Schmidt will try and get himself down to the bottom here at turn 2, and it looks like he will successfully.
The 83 of Joe Berge working himself to the high side as the 190 going to drive it into the corner. Washing up,
car on the wall.
It's
Mitch Hobbs, I think. Yeah, it is.
Look at this battle for, looks like 9th to 10th place as the 11 of Matthew Klein drops back a couple positions. He's stuck on the inside as nearly washed up into the 98 of Brandon Sampson. First
Almost did
heat.
again right there.
And very, very close racing toward this back, but man, look at that 2x2 action!
Oh, the loose corners!
Oh, the leader's wrecking! Oh my gosh!
The whole field! Oh my goodness, this is up and over! Someone's up on their side!
Who gets through it into the top 8? They're still flipping!
Sage up and over!
The 45's up and over, he's still flipping!
Connors is almost up the pit wall! Who the hell is left?
There's only 2 people that made themselves through the 89 of Mitch Hobbs and Brandon Sampson in the 96. Enzo Gauthier, the man that started near last place.
4th place.
What in the world? Oh my gosh.
No freaking way. What in the world just happened as the 65 of John Cannizzaro is now in 4th place. William Schmidt still in 5th. Regan McCauley, who blew his engine in the heat race, now in 6th place. Bianchini in 7th and Burge in 8th. What in the world was that?
Oh!
Oh no! Here goes Ansness!
Joe just absolutely doored.
That was for the transfer spot too. That was 8th and 9th right there. Anstis was trying to pass Burge low, and Anstis just went around.
Wow.
So now Jeremiah Bethune now in 9th place is the first car on the outside looking in, but man, that wreck just turned this whole thing on its head, didn't it?
I've never seen that big of a wreck.
That was insane.
In a while. Man, that took everybody out, and now this whole top 8 is scrambled to all sorts of pieces and such.
Anstis about to get lapped.
Yeah, so this battle for 8th place, Joe Berge is a far ways ahead of Jeremiah Bethune. But Mitch Hobbs is about to lap some people.
Yeah, he's going to get Anstis right here, who just went around with Burge. And the next car after him is Bethune, so we may only have like 8 or 9 cars on the lead lap. We could realistically only have the transfer cars finished on the lead lap, as Anstis will let Hobbs go there on his merry way. But yeah, beyond Brandon Sampson, it's another 7 seconds back to William Schmidt, who's in 3rd. Bianchini's gotten by Cannizzaro for 4th. And McCauley got by Gauthier for 6th. So some position changes here, but no harm, no foul, as all these guys still in transfer spots.
Enzo, this is one of the very few times he's running the Street Stock
there.
Series. There's a bit of contact there with the 65 and the 82. Enzo to the low side, trying to make that pass happen all the way down low. Maybe a bit of a slide job. No, he's going to use the low side as the 65. John will get him right back.
Berge's there now.
Yeah, Berge is there in the mix as well.
Yeah, there's Bethune in the background there, so he's got about 6 or 5.5 laps to try and flag at least one of these cars down and get by them. But right now, these 3 are 6th through 8th, and all 3 of these guys are in the main event. And Burge might put the bumper to that 65, but makes a good move to the inside. And Cannizzaro's on the wall.
That's close.
Honestly, Bethune might be able to catch Cannizzaro before this thing's over. He's got a chance.
Just 5 laps to make something happen. There's the gap between him and a transfer spot to the feature. This time by, we'll see 4 laps to go. Well, 5 laps to go for Jeremiah. And
Cannizzaro got really loose.
Yeah, he's...
Bethune's coming, man. He might get him here before this is over.
We'll have to see, though.
I think it's going to get there. So this will be a good battle. I'm sure John will block him whenever he gets there, but Jeremiah definitely closing that gap.
All right, 3 laps to go this time by. John gets loose, opens up the door for that 05 of Bethune to get a mix in.
He's going to try and get him high here. Oh, he might give him the bumper.
Oh, there goes the 65.
Oh, there goes John. Oh, no. He holds onto it, but put Bethune now to the transfer spot as John will go a lap down with just 2 to go. And man, John came that close to getting in, but unfortunately he comes up just short once again, at least for now. And the white flag will wave here for LCQ number 2, with Mitch Hobbs leading over half of the race after that insane wreck in those first couple laps.
That's the con of no caution races. If there's a big wreck on lap number 1, unfortunately, things will go south from there. But hey, a battle for the lead is not yet done. It will now complete itself once they cross the start-finish line as Mitch Hobbs holds on and wins the LCQ race for this B main, and Brendan Sampson comes up short in second. And for this 8th position, all eyes are on the 05 of Jeremiah as he works himself into 3 and 4. No cars around him, and he'll be the talk of the day as he'll get himself in after that move on that 65 of John.
So Mitch Hobbs, Brandon Sampson, William Schmidt, Michael Bianchini, Regan McCauley, Joe Burgi, Enzo Gauthier, and Jeremiah Bethune are your 8 drivers from LCQ2, and that is your field for tonight's main event. And we'll be gridding right here, and we're pretty much ready to get the green flag for the big show.
All right.
In a couple minutes.
Yep. Go ahead and show our series sponsors here on the right hand side of your screen as we get set here to go green in just a moment. Oh boy, man. What you think of the heat racing that we saw? Of course, this is your first time ever seeing this.
Man, I'm all for it, man. That was some of the craziest heat racing I've probably ever seen on iRacing. That had pretty much everything you could probably ask for in a heat race in it. And if that's any indication of what the main event's going to look like, just imagine if the main event was 40 cars instead of 24.
Yeah, and imagine if there was more people rather than just 40. It would have been like 62. We would have three heats, and that LCQ spot would have been way smaller than what it is. Rather than 8, it would probably be 6 or 5. I'm not really sure, but in the meantime, we get set to go green here in just moments. Currently under warm-up conditions as of right now. Aaron Mulrooney logging himself some lap time. Josh Patterson in the O2 as well. Chris Nozowski, he got himself through the heat portion of this one. A lot of these drivers qualifying through the heats and LCQ, but it was top 3 of Mulrooney, I think Connor Brannon, and as well as Charlie Byer. Those are going to be 3 people to watch because they haven't hit the track, excluding right now, so they have to get themselves re-warmed up. And currently Mulrooney on top, no doubt about it. He deserved the pull.
Yeah, luckily for Mulrooney and I forget who qualified second. Crap, who was it?
It was Connor Brandon.
Thank you. Yeah, those 2 and Charlie Byer fortunately were able to avoid all of the commotion that we just had between those 2 heats and those 2 LCQs. So they will also be starting, of course, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. So we'll have to see if those 3 can maybe pull themselves away quickly, or if they'll quickly get caught up in an extension of what we saw in those heats.
All right, and work themselves in and around. Still under practice conditions. Who do you expect to win here for tonight?
Oh, I can't tell you that. I mean, after what we just saw, especially in that 2nd LCQ, I refuse to answer that question. I straight up do, but if I absolutely had to pick anybody in the field to win, give me Mulrooney.
Yeah, same here. I'd go with that number 2, Mulrooney. Of course, he's been in the victory lane already. Picked up the checkered flag, I think, at I forgot what track it was, but that number 2 is looking strong. Currently sitting P4 in practice as of right now, but he does have some competition around him. That number 2 is going to have to fend off the 7 of Charlie Byer, a fast number 92 Connor Brannon, multiple other drivers as well. So you see Connor out in looks like there he is on that number 92. Currently sitting P14 in practice. I'm interested to see on how he does here for tonight because I think this is one of his first ever Street Stock Series attempts here. Chris Nozowski, that number 22. He too has been fast. I think he's actually been in victory lane here at this track before. I don't know what season it was, but it was one of the beginning seasons of this, of when iSCAR actually just started. So, iSCAR, of course, ever since 2016, has been hosting street stock events all over the place. The first ever person to visit Victory Lane here at Thompson was actually Dale Robertson, aka Dale Holman. But
yeah,
unfortunately,
I don't know when the last time he ran an iSCAR race was, but of course he is well known to our community, and hopefully one day maybe he'll race here once again. And that'll do it for the brief warm-up session we have, or as other people like to call it, happy hour. So we'll be gridding ourselves up here, and we're getting ready for, I think, 40 laps here tonight.
75.
Even better. So our front row for tonight's main event will be Aaron Mulrooney in the 2, and to his outside, Connor Brandon in the 92.
Charlie Byer and Malachi Drake are going to round out row number 2 here for this one.
Carson Poindexter, your first heat winner in 5th, and Christopher Weil. Oh wait, I think this is original qualifying.
Yeah,
time,
that's right. That's right. That was about
I
to
was gonna say that's a little messed up.
Yeah, I'll have to pull up the left side. There it is.
Yeah, Carson did win heat number 2, so he should be 5th. Yeah, Josh Patterson, heat number 1 winner, he's 4th. Kaloa Hankins, Chris Nazowski, Malachi Drake, JJ Hill, and Dominic Howe will be your top 10 starters here for tonight.
Everybody gets rolled off for this one as the track, race analysis is going to be shown on the bottom right hand of your screen. Pit road speed 35. I'm not expecting these drivers to hit pit road because you could run it with just one set. Length is 75 laps. Miles going to be running 46.875 miles. No fuel window going to be here for tonight, and no stages as well.
Actually, we do have 25 cars in tonight's field versus 24.
Yeah,
so
25 I meant.
Yeah, just a little housekeeping there. But hey, one more car in the field means maybe a little bit more action than what we would have seen before. But either way, we got a lot of cars. They're street stocks. We're at a short track. There's probably going to be a lot of wrecks tonight. So, as Larry McReynolds would say, pull those belts tight one more time.
Definitely. As they work themselves down the back straightaway 2 by 2. Action 25 cars going to duke it out for 75 laps. My name is Inky Reyes. You're just joining us here for tonight. MaxspeedTV is broadcasting the iSCAR Street Stock Tour as we go green. Mulrooney will lead to the green at a 3 wide already.
Yeah, Patterson, I'm not sure what just happened there, but yeah, they almost went 3 wide across the start-finish line as Patterson's already on the bottom. Connor Brennan washed up the hill big time. He's already in the wall, so he's going to drop from 2nd place quickly here. He's already back to about 6th or 7th place.
Multiple drivers work themselves through the first couple of corners. One car gets a bit sideways. That's 72. Kaloa Hankins corrects it back on the track. They're 2 by 2 on the front stretch, looking like a bit of super speedway racing as they head into 1. And one car way on the bottom side of the track.
That's Brody. Car on the wall right there, just riding the wall. And whoever that was, oh no! Oh,
yellow flag is out.
Mitch Hobbs around, and that's going to bring our first caution out. Garrett Hess involved in that as well. And Dominic
big
piled, and there's more cars around. Poindexter's gone around here in turn 3. Your Heat 2 winner.
Wow, man, that was really, really big as... Oh man, we'll get a replay of what happened as they worked themselves off the corner. The first car sideways was number 58 of Dominic Howe.
I thought he had it saved right here, and then you'll see right here he gets sideways, and I thought right here he had it, but then he just turned right back up the hill and nowhere to go for... I think that was Simpson, maybe? I'm not sure who that was that hit him. Might have been Malachi. This car begins with a 9, I think.
His left side's hit the grass. I think that's why that car jumped back to the right. Like that. You see it right there.
Oh, you're right. Right in the gravel. Yeah, and Sampson just nowhere to go. Garrett Hess gets caught up in it right there. And I'm not sure where Poindexter got turned because you'll see in another shot he got turned into turn 3. So he must have gotten clipped at the end of that. Yeah, right there. Gardner went around as well. So I think somebody missing the wreck must have clipped at least one of these 2 cars right there. Or no, he just lost it.
Interesting.
Dang. Yeah, you see Dominic go around. snow come up the track, and then right here,
Oh.
oh, Connor got in the back of him.
Yeah, there was a bit of a accordion effect coming into that corner, and Nozowski in front, Connor in the back, and the proximity sandwich, unfortunately, that one of Poindexter went around, but we're under caution here for the first time tonight. Probably gonna go green in a couple of laps. Cars already a couple laps down. Not Mitch Hobbs. Yeah, it looks like Mitch Hobbs. E2 is gonna go a lap down. 86 of Garrett Hess is gonna go laps down, and 58 of Dominic Howe. E2 is going laps down, is gonna double it up, I think, for this one.
Yeah, very quick caution, fortunately, so we're not going to lose as many laps under caution. I believe that was a lap 3 caution. I think we're going to go green here on either 6 or 7, so good to see these cautions much quicker, so more of this race can be run under the green flag, of course. Other times you'll end up with, NASCAR short tracks, you can easily end up with a 6, 7, 8, 9 lap caution, so looks like we're going to do single file restarts here, actually, as Mulrooney will take us back to the green flag.
Yeah, I was curious about that, but looks like iRacing decided it was going to go single file for this start. Field works themselves in the first couple corners, and Mulrooney has a bit of... Oh!
Byer saves it!
Nice save, but he tags the wall and loses a lot of momentum. Going to drop back most likely to 4th place. Wreck in the back!
Yellow.
Yeah, it'll bring the caution out again. We'll have to see who that is. That's Regan McCauley in the 13, bringing out our second caution of the night.
Like just lost it on his own.
Yeah, he was all by himself, nobody really near him. And you'll see right here, turn 2 seems to be where a lot of guys get loose, and you see right there, Regan just, fortunately nobody else hit him, but I'm actually a bit surprised that brought the caution out.
Same here. He didn't really turn it around by anything like that, but just give me a moment as I have to chat to a couple of drivers about a couple of settings. There we go. Apologies about that, but
we're going to have some democracy here and see if you want to do double file restarts.
Yeah.
Yeah, we try not to be communist here. Communism bad. So you'll know if this is another single file or double file, probably the one to go, but Mulrooney has led them all so far, and Patterson, your Heat 1 winner, now up to 2nd place. And Kiloa Hankins with a solid run for himself so far, currently in 3rd.
420, Malcolm Bianchini works himself off. He does beat the pace car off of pit road, luckily.
He's already a lap down, unfortunately, though. Actually, no, Garrett Hess actually getting the wave around here. Bianchini will be the 2nd to last car on the lead lap. It looks like Mitch Hobbs and Dominic Howe will be the 2 lapped cars. I think one of those 2 at least either on pit road or disconnected from that big wreck early on.
Dominic on pit road. Mitch is currently 1 lap down. So everyone, all 25 cars still on track.
I'm surprised. That was a huge hit that the 2 of them had. Or that Dominic had. I'm even more surprised that Brandon Sampson hit him that hard, and he's still on the lead lap as well. So a lucky break for those guys, I guess, because that would have been race ending in real life for sure.
Yeah, these street stock machines are tanks. These things could take a beating and still be competitive. You see the 18, I mean not the 18, the number 96 of Brandon Sampson, still sitting in 18th place, but his car definitely a bit shattered after that big wreck, but still on track and has all 4 wheels on it.
Forget monster trucks. Why don't we do demo derbies with these things?
Yeah.
Like, imagine the Gravedigger, but on a street stock and not a monster truck. That would be something. It looks like you're going to do single file for the restart once again, I guess. Democracy has prevailed, and we're going to keep it the way it is. So Mulrooney, Patterson, Hankins, Byer, and Nozowski, your top 5 for the 3rd, I guess, restart of the race. And we'll be going back in here on lap 13.
Green flag is out. Patterson peeks to the low side. We'll see if he can make the move. No, he cannot. Slides back in line into 2nd place, but he is definitely there. Going to try it again. And 1, into the low side. The 2-2s are going to go at it for this first spot. Mulrooney gets a bit sideways, and I'll open up the door for Patterson, who's still there, but can't get the run off the corner.
Looks like a bunch of the field didn't really get caught up for the start, but
Yellow.
I guess them being spread out isn't necessarily a bad thing, as actually the caution's going to come out again here fairly quickly. We'll have to see what happened this time. So we've had 3 quick cautions so far. Not a lot of green flag racing here to start the night off, but
I see a wreck in the back. 89, Mitch Hobbs.
right there. What? Oh, just
Another
off
self-spin.
almost the same place that Regan spun out a few laps prior. So turn 2 definitely looking to be the trouble spot here so far, and we saw that in the heats and the LCQs as well. Seems like almost everybody's getting loose out of turn 2.
Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know if it's like the combination of old tires and this worn out track surface, because you could definitely see this track is scraped up with all sorts of tire marks and such, but I don't know if that's a viable factor or not. But unfortunately, it does put us under caution. We're gonna get another 5 laps under it, and yeah, I've had a lot of racing, unfortunately, because of it.
Yeah, 11 of our 15 laps run so far, actually 12 out of 15, run under caution. So only 3 green laps up to this point. So hopefully we can get a good green flag run here on this restart.
Yeah, interesting. Usually these cars are, I mean, yeah, they could step out fairly sideways, but they're correctable. I don't know. Again, it's very, very early in the race, because these tire temperatures need to get up to optimal pressure, so they could be a bit more drivable, I guess you could say. But right now, they are just breaking loose. So not much to talk about because of it. Well, Aaron Mulrooney in that number 2, still leading it. Unfortunate for him, he's stuck all the way back in, looks like 13th place in points. Not going to be a factor coming in for the championship, but we'll talk about a couple people who are in the mix for the championship. The 0-0 of Ryan Kendrick, he's up there in 2nd place, will most likely come out as the points leader if he does finish in a solid position. Kiloa Hankins in the 72, he's up here, as well as Beyer in that number 7.
Yeah, unfortunately, Christopher Weil came in 3rd in points, and of course, he did not qualify for tonight's event. So him and Nick both going to take big hits in the championship here, but a golden opportunity, as you said, for Kiloa, Beyer, and Kendrick. Kendrick's back in 13th. He's got some work to do, but Kiloa and Beyer are both in the top 5. So if they can keep themselves up there, those two might be right in the thick of it next week at Charlotte.
Right, and Charlotte's going to be so hectic, of course. Just like a super speedway, everybody's going to be all over each other. We just take the green flag, back up and away here at Thompson. Hopefully we'll get in. Hopefully we'll get more than just 1 lap.
Yeah, that'd be good. That'd be very good. As Connor looks to have washed up a little bit.
Whoa!
And Hankins is going to hold on to it. Nice save.
Great
And
save.
hold on to 3rd as well.
Yeah, a lot of people
Here's
just...
Patterson.
The trouble spot is that 2nd corner. Everybody's just all sorts of sideways when you do log in
Yellow,
lap,
yellow.
and a yellow flag comes out again.
Oh, man.
Looks
Not
like
again. It's the
Enzo in the
82.
82 goes around.
That's almost at the pit road entrance. He may have had some help for that one. We'll have to see. Oh, nope. Another self-spin.
This is the 3rd self spin you've seen in a row. Just all by himself. And you see that left front just lock up as well.
And a lot of people just getting wicked loose so far. I mean, I don't know what else to say, honestly. Just a very loose racetrack so far. Charlie got by Kiloa for 3rd. And that's... I think Nozowski just pit, I think. He's just fell out of the top 10. I think he may have come down pit road.
Yeah, it looks like Nozowski's calling it a day.
Wow, he was in the top 5.
Michael
That's,
Bianchini, he too is disconnected.
yeah, I wonder if Chris just had to go somewhere because he was right up there, so that's unfortunate. Mitch still a lap down. He might actually get the wave around this time if he's still on the track.
Yeah, there he
I'm not sure.
is.
There he is. Yeah, he should be the wave around for this caution, and that should put everybody that's on the track on the lead lap. Yeah, and this is what I was talking about before. I don't know if we're getting the 1 to green here or not, but looks like the whole field is really spread out because of this single file start. So, as Mitch is actually going to pit, but the last couple restarts, I've noticed that the field really isn't formed together on these starts. So those guys in the back never really are getting a chance to get themselves up there.
Everybody's fanned out, but unfortunately, self-spin's just the issue.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've seen something like this in which the car is just so loose that it's unbearable to control. Last time I saw something similar like this was the Bronze Series at USA. And man, that went...
Oh, that was a time.
Yeah, that was very horrible.
That was a time.
That was a very horrible race.
We don't like the... Yeah, it seems like iSCAR and USA just do not mix that well.
Yeah, definitely, but... when the street stocks went to, not the street stocks, the national car, the ARCA car went to USA. I don't know how many cautions he had. It was like 13 or something like that, but it was like 65 out of the 80 laps were ran under caution. It was really, really bad. It was a messy, messy race. And
well, the street stock race here, or at USA, to lead this season off like that as well, of course, but, you know, that's one of those races we kind of just hope become hopefully those races just become repressed memories and we don't remember those anymore, but I guess tonight may have the chance of becoming one of those back burner races. Looks like we're going to go double file for the restart this time, so we're going to shake things up here for this restart. Mulrooney looks to have elected the outside lane for the restart. It'll be him, Patterson, Kiloa Hankins, Charlie Byer, and Malachi Drake now in the top 5.
Yep.
As we're a third of the way through.
Alright, so Mulrooney going to elect the high side. Patterson's been shoving to the inside. I'm interested to see on how the O2 will fare up here. As we come to the green flag, a lot of contact. Green flag is out. Mulrooney's gone.
Yeah, choosing the outside looks to be beneficial as Mulrooney clears Patterson before turn number 1. Byer making a move on his teammate Kiloa there for third.
Whoa!
Once again. And
wow, what a save by one of those proximity cars. That was the 92, Connor Brandon, who was dead sideways. He washes up.
Oh! Another save!
Wow, great car control by the 92, but he's still loose. Yeah.
Oh, he comes right up in front of Liam Sheen, who gets his way to the outside. I think they're going to... Oh, and he saves it again!
He's still sideways. He just can't get that...
Wow.
Can't get it under control, and the man who started himself in top 3 is having some issues. You bit of contact right in the background.
Oh,
that's Kendrick.
Man, they're all over the place so far.
Meanwhile, for this lead, whoa, one car sideways in the back. That was a 90 of Malachi Drake, but up front, Josh Patterson is not letting go. And it's been a while since that O2 has been to victory lane. And here he is to the low side. See if he can make something happen there as he works himself into 1 and 2. Patterson to the low side, Mulrooney up top. I think it's just too loose down to the bottom side of the racetrack.
Oh, just slaps the wall at it too right there. That's a pretty hard hit. I'm not sure who that was, but turn 2 still proving to be a trouble spot, and Patterson's all over Mulrooney's back bumpy here, but can't quite make the move yet.
They're going to follow back in line rather than drive to the inside, but here he goes. He has a run to the low side. We'll see if he can take it. Into pursuit into 3. No, he'll have to slide back in line. It seems as though that outside line, which is actually preferred here at Thompson, seems to be the line as Patterson drives it into the low side.
On the apron.
Wow, what a move.
Yeah, the bottom just doesn't seem to be sticking that well, so guess that's why Mulrooney picked the outside for the restart. But man, Josh was on the apron right there out of turn 3, trying to make it happen. A couple cars on the wall in the back, no harm, no foul, but Patterson's trying everything he can, but just cannot get there.
Look how close these top 2 are as That number 2, Mulrooney, fends off the 0-2, Josh Patterson.
Here he comes, right here.
Oh.
Side by side.
He could drive it to the low side, but can't get the run off the corner. Actually, he got to the quarter panel at 2. And to the inside goes the 0-2 Patterson. We'll see if he can get a run off the corner. Side by side at the start-finish line. No. Mulrooney leads that lap.
Cleared him. Yeah, Mulrooney got a much better run out of 4, so he's going to clear Patterson, but Josh trying the inside once again. Looks like Mulrooney's trying to hold on to the outside. Of course, you know, most tracks you'll think about keeping the bottom to yourself, but Mulrooney just keeping the top side and making it work to his advantage here so far. Josh is going to really have to drive it in to get that lead because it looks like the bottom side is not working that well so far.
Right, it's like something of a, I guess, a dirt move. He'll have to put a bit of a slide job into the corner. He'll have to drive it really deep to clear in the center of the corner and slide up in front of that too. I think that's his best shot. But man, look at that 72 Kaloa Hankins. I haven't really talked about him as they're side by side for the lead. He's working himself into the mix as well.
Yeah, they got to put some PJ1 on this track.
Definitely.
That traction compound that NASCAR has got, but yeah, Josh doing everything he can to try and make the low side work, and he'll try once again as he locks them up right here into turn 3. But Mulrooney will get the launch out of 4 once again, and there's that 72 right in the mix once again. So might have a 3-horse race now for the lead as that 72 is charging.
Seems as though Mulrooney is the slowest out of all this top 5 as Gretz. He too is getting into the picture and he's dragging along the 7 to Charlie Byer. Top 3 under a blanket, the 0-2 to the low side.
Yeah, I'm not sure where Gretz was. We haven't really talked about him much in the main event as Byer did have that 4th spot. So Gretz with a really fast car as he's now made himself up into that 4th spot. Hunter Rupp up to 6th now as well. So a couple guys we haven't talked about much so far tonight now making themselves into the top 10.
And Mulrooney really, oh my gosh, I cannot believe he cleared the 0-2 right up off the corner, but still in the lead, has led every lap so far. But Mulrooney is under fire from the 0-2, he's been under fire, and to the low side goes Patterson. Oh, he got a bit sideways there.
Yeah, just cannot make that bottom side work no matter what he does, so I think Patterson might end up having to resort to maybe bumping him out of the way at some point, but of course, if you do that too early, you're leaving yourself open to having it returned to you. So if Patterson does end up deciding to maybe bump Aaron out of the way, he's got to do it and not leave him enough time for Aaron to do it right back.
Right, got to do it toward the end of the race. Let's look at this. The top 6 are all stacked up single file.
Make it now.
Man, these people are duking it out all over the place.
Right there as well.
Right. Mulrooney is definitely the slowest out of this top 7, but he's doing a nice job of fending off Patterson. Kiloa to the high side of Patterson. Maybe Kiloa can slide himself into 2nd place. We'll have to see.
Yeah, this is interesting because, you know, of course, you said it looks like almost all these guys behind Aaron are faster, but with Aaron contact right there. But with Aaron just being faster, there really isn't much by way of opportunities to try and get by that number 2. So even though he's a slower car, what are those guys behind him going to have to do in order to try and get that pass? Is now Gretz trying to make the low side work for 3rd underneath Kiloa.
Oh, with them being side by side for that 3rd place. Oh, Kiloa tags the wall off the corner, but them being side by side for that 3rd position is going to let that top 2 pull away as Gretz washes up the track and might have booted Kiloa out of the way.
That's going to put Byer up to 4th, I think, on the low side. Into 3. Those are teammates side by side for that 4th spot. Gretz pretty loose still. Byer might have a run for 3rd here as well if he can make that bottom side stick.
And once they all got single file, it seems like Mulrooney was in trouble, and all those people right behind, I don't know if a draft is playing an effect or what, but in the meantime, he's still fending off the 0-2 of Patterson, who has been all over him ever since the drop of the green. Maybe if we do get a caution, which is right, babe!
Oh, Kiloa holds on to it.
Oh,
but he's going to lose a lot of positions, though, unfortunately.
That sucks for him. He was running toward the top 5 and was up in 3rd.
That's going to hit him in points as well. He came in top 5 in points, so...
Oh, there's a wreck in the back. One car up on their side and flips over. Harry Grindle's barreling down the back straightaway.
Down the back stretch. Caution out once again. What a huge, huge crash for that 70 car.
I think he could get it refired. There he goes.
And our UK representative just went over and over.
What a wreck.
That's one of the worst wrecks I've ever seen at Thompson.
Yeah, it looks like Kiloa.
Oh,
wasn't
Kiloa
clear.
wasn't clear.
And that's so reminiscent of when, who was it at Rockingham? It was Carl Long.
Carl Long.
That's right.
When Carl Long flipped in the last Rockingham Cup race back in 2004, got clipped by, I believe, Joe Nemechek, and he went over, so pretty similar setup here, as Kiloa thought he was clear of that 70, and unfortunately he wasn't. And man, nice job by Ryan Kendrick. That'll be a hell of an onboard shot if we have one.
Yeah, we're getting onboard that 00. I'm trying to find him out on the leaderboard right now. There he is. Kendrick was running 12th at the time. And Kendrick just scoots himself. Well, you saw the flipping car, the 70. He had to slap the wall.
Nice job. Yeah, we had a really solid green flag run. That was about 25, 30 laps almost that we had, so we finally had a good green flag run, and this could be a reset here for Josh Patterson in the O2 to maybe try and come up with another strategy he can use to maybe get by that 2 car.
Right.
Man, that was...
I don't know if Mulrooney's going to pick the high side and Patterson might dive onto the corner. I'm not really sure.
I don't know what else Patterson could do, honestly, because, again, we've seen so far the high side definitely the preferred line. So as long as Aaron keeps picking the high line, I'm not really sure what Patterson can do, because he just can't make the bottom work the way he wants it to.
But can he make it work under on a restart, though? That's why I'm curious, because of course slower speeds on the restart. Maybe that bottom might kick in. Of course, we usually see it on the NASCAR side of tracks, of the faster tracks with like 1.5 milers and such. Not really sure on how it's going to fend off here for Mulrooney, but this is a street stock and this is a short track. I'm pretty sure that number 2, Mulrooney, will be securing himself in as of right now. Have you noticed, by the way, every single windshield has Fanatec or Fanatic on it?
Yeah, that's a new thing, I guess, that just got put in. I guess maybe it was a build update or something, but yeah, the street stocks never used to have windshield banners, but now they all have Fanatec on them, of course. Fanatec, a company that produces wheels and pedals. I'm sure a good amount of the people in this field are driving with a Fanatec wheel right now, but interesting update, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know if they're getting sponsored by the Street Stock series on the iRacing thing. I'm not really sure.
I don't know, but they're getting a lot of airtime right now, so because every car in the field's got that banner, and Pace car will dive itself down to the back green with just 26 laps to go.
I'm not sure if that's going to be a black flag. Oh, they're piling up as the O2 Patterson couldn't pass the 2 Mulrooney. We'll see if the O2 gets a black flag there as Gretz
was right here. They're
all
almost
over.
full wide in the middle of the turn
Oh my gosh. Oh, they're wrecking.
Oh, there goes Poindexter around, and that's going to bring the caution out once again. Mitch Hobbs around behind him.
And that's the only car.
Yeah, 2 cars involved. Poindexter just washed up and bounced off another car at it too, and I think Mitch just spun out trying to avoid him. We'll see. Yeah, they're almost 4 wide there, and yeah, right there, Poindexter got into, I think that was a 13, and then Mitch barely avoids him right there.
Yeah, that would have been insult to injury if he did slide into him.
Yeah, Mitch has not had the best of nights so far, but that'll give the free pass to Dominic Howe, so he'll get 1 of his laps back. It'll be 2 laps down after he receives that. So we're into the back third of the race tonight, and I think Mulrooney still has this locked up, at least for now. If Patterson can try to make that low side work and get by him at any point, he might have the win for himself. As there's Dominic taking the free pass. But yeah, if Patterson can make the low line work on a restart, maybe clear Mulrooney out of turn 2, that could potentially be a race-winning move. Because nobody's been able to get by Aaron so far.
Right. Restart's going to be interesting. With 25 laps to go, or less than 25 laps to go, that I'm curious if Patterson did get a black flag clear. I'm not really sure, but Patterson, he passed Mulrooney before the start-finish line. I mean, before they went green, because Gretz was littered all over that O2. as they were coming to that green flag, and he pushed him ahead. And you can't do that, of course. Patterson, even though he was on the inside, he was supposed to be in second place, but the two elected the high side. That's another advantage of picking the high side. You can't have people pass on the high side or get a better jump on you. So I'm just curious on how Mulrooney will stack up against with Patterson yet again if Gretz wants to push the issue coming in here for this next restart.
Yeah, and even though there's about 25 laps, or 21 laps to go, time is honestly running out, because these laps at Thompson and most short tracks just go by really, really quick. Of course, if you watch the Cup race at Bristol last weekend, they were going 14, 15 seconds per lap, so you can turn your head away for a minute and you'll have already missed 4 or 5 laps. So the laps here are going to start taking away very quickly, so not a lot of time left for Patterson to try and make a move on that too.
Right. And I'm pretty sure with it coming down to this restart, oh, looks like they're gonna go single file. So that's a change of plans. I think it's because the caution came out on the restart, so they go ahead and change to single file. So that means Mulrooney will fend off the lead as of right now, but we'll have to see. Mulrooney has been struggling with him single file, but green flag this time. Mulrooney's up and away, but Patterson is looking down low.
Green flag, green flag.
Yeah, I think this might boil down to Patterson maybe just giving Mulrooney a bump, but maybe not for long. He's hitting
Oh!
Oh no!
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
Connor weaves himself through.
And there goes second and third places. Gretz just dove it in, and man,
They're still wrecking.
DJ Hill and Garrett Hess pile in there, and that just sucks for Josh Patterson. That's really too bad.
Wow.
I mean, we saw Gretz do something similar in the heat where he turned himself and Ryan Kendrick out of transfer spots. Had a run on him on the bottom, but just washed up and around went that 0-2. Nice job by Connor to split the gap right there. And
Yeah.
Connor will now restart in second place. There you see Garrett go around with JJ. Oh, and Josh just turns right down into Mitch Hobbs. Actually, it's Brandon Sampson.
Now Connor's gonna be in second place now, so not sure how Connor will fend up with Aaron, because the only car I've seen who has had a shot at Aaron was Patterson, and Patterson's gonna start all the way back in, looks like 20th place. And we were talking about it. It's go time once that green flag waves, and Gretz flung it into one, trying to get that low side to work. Unfortunately, just straight up dumped the 0-2 of Patterson, trying to work that low side.
There's Dominic getting the wave around again, so he'll be one lap down now. So one more caution, and that 58 after being pile drove on lap number 3 will be right back on the lead lap again. So Dominic just trying to look for attrition, but there hasn't been too much of it so far. But actually, Alex K. Gretz now 2 laps down. I wonder if he just disconnected.
Yeah.
He might have felt bad and just called it a day, but unfortunate because it took both of them out of contention. Of course, Patterson's going to restart probably 19th or 20th, so realistically, Patterson probably won't be in contention. But Ryan Kendrick has been stuck in the back for most of the race tonight. You're coming in second in points. He's now up to 8th place, so Ryan's slowly clawing his way rather, up into the top 5. So valuable points he's picking up here is the more spots he picks up, the more likely it is he'll walk out of this race with the points lead going into the finale next week.
I don't know if it's going to be single file yet again, but if Mulrooney gets a nice jump, and it is single file, I don't know if Connor could nail the throttle down and sneak up to that number 2 in time. But we still have double-digit laps to go. Connor could make something happen as long as this thing stays green, but if we do have a green-white checkered, we have 3 attempts to get in a clean, to get in 2 clean laps.
And Harry Grindle, after barrel rolling about 15 laps ago, is now in 12th place. So
Amazing.
You mentioned those street stocks being tanks. Boy, are they.
Right.
Because that 70 car tumbled and tumbled and tumbled, and now he's almost in a spot to get back up into the top 10. So just that kind of night here in Northeast Connecticut.
Yeah. Go to the green flag this time by Mulrooney. Will come lead it to the green. 14 laps to go this time by. Connor's on the throttle, but unfortunately Mulrooney is gone.
Yeah, I think Patterson was probably the strongest car on the track, and now that he's back at about 20th place, I think Mulrooney's stiffest competition in terms of getting the lead is now gone, as Byer got the wall added too, and that's going to open up the door for Hunter Rupp in the 61 to get a try and make a move, but can't quite do it, because that's Brody Gardner battling with him in 5th.
Connor's there, but Mulrooney gets a huge push in the one. I don't know if he shoved it into the corner a bit further than he wanted to.
Whoa!
Oh! Sideways off the corner goes the 92 of Connor. He corrects the car and keeps it behind that number 2 Mulrooney. And Byer's coming up in there as well. A fight for 4th is going on right behind Brody Gardner, Hunter Rupper, duking it out hand in hand. Here comes Connor to the low side. Looks like not going to make the move.
Yeah, Liam Sheen joining that battle as well. He's right up there with Brody and Hunter as well. And I think that's Joe Burgee in the 83 right behind him as well. And Brody will try again for 4th on the bottom. But I guess the outside just... Or actually, Brody's going to make that move on the inside. One of the few successful passes on the inside that we've seen so far tonight. And Hunter may lose another one right here to that 42.
Oh, bit of blinking there as Connor blinks in and out, but he's still behind the 2. He's going to drive it to the inside. Same deal with Patterson. He just can't get that low side to work, and Connor's blinking out. Might catch that 2 off guard just a bit. And you're right, 10 laps to go. It's go time.
Yeah, Connor looks to be having the same problem that Josh did. The bottom just does not stick. So Mulrooney might just have it made on that high side, but you know, Connor, I'm sure, one of those guys that won't be afraid to give somebody a bumper for the lead. So if it comes down to 2 or 1 to go, Connor's in a position to maybe bump that 2 car out of the way. I would not be surprised if he does.
Look at those brakes glowing on. Yeah, Brody's gunning in for 3rd. He slides back in line, but look at those brakes on the 92. Oh, bump! Charlie's getting impatient.
Yeah, I think Charlie's faster than Connor is, but like Connor, they just have nowhere to go because the bottom won't work. As long as those guys are up on the high side, they're really not going to be able to make any moves, but Connor will have a good shot here into turn 3 to try and make this pass.
We'll have to drive it on in and make that bottom work. He slides up the track, but opens up the door for Byer to the high side. He's blinking in and out. One car upside down.
Patterson's on his roof on the grass. How long has he been there for?
I have no clue, but
he's been there at least a couple laps, and I just noticed it. I don't know how that's not a caution, but
yeah, me neither.
Josh spent half the race in 2nd place, and now he's just sitting on his roof out of turn 4. So that sucks. We'll have to get a replay for you guys later on of how he ended up on his roof there.
6 laps to go, though.
Himself.
Oh, Connor!
Whoa!
I don't know where Connor is.
Where'd he go?
There he is.
Saves it again. Byer's gonna have a shot to get 2nd place right here, but
Connor's. Oh man, Connor's unhappy about that door.
Connor's now gone from trying to make the bottom work to get the lead to trying to make the bottom work to hold on to 2nd place. And the longer that these two are side by side, that's going to give Mulrooney might give him the win.
Yeah, Mulrooney with the advantage of not being side by side. And of course, he could just hold the high side, but if there's contact from behind, that's definitely going to change the outlook, because the 2 is definitely slower on this longer run, and Byer's still jammed in with that 92 of Connor. 4 laps to go. Aaron a bit sideways, and Connor's still hanging on for that 2nd position.
See, I was curious to see if Charlie might be able to get the bottom to work on Aaron, but with Connor still there, Charlie can't even get to the bottom if he wanted to. Charlie's just trapped up where he is. So with those two side by side, like I said, Aaron's loving every second of this, because with Connor just trying to hold on for 2nd, and he almost spins right there. There's a car on the wall.
Now Connor files back in line. It's going to be against Charlie and Aaron, and he can totally pull a bump and run.
Brody's trying for 3rd right here on Connor.
2 laps to go.
He make it work.
All
They're
right.
side by side for 3rd right now.
Charlie's going to try the low side. has a run. I don't know if he wants to go to the low side because it'll disrupt himself and the win. Right behind him, a lot of contact. Whoa!
Whoa, he holds on. White flag at Thompson. No caution.
One more lap to go as Hunter Rupp gets booted out of the way. Charlie is losing a lot of ground, but can he make it up in time to the low side?
One more shot.
One last shot in 3 and 4. He has to put the bumper to him to make the pass happen.
Have to.
Here we go. I don't think it's close enough.
Not quite. Checkered flag is in the air, and Aaron Mulrooney leads wire to wire and will win here at Thompson.
Wow, what a move by Byer there on that white flag to shove it down low. Unfortunate for him, he did not make the pass, and Aaron Mulrooney is a street stock winner yet again. Congratulations. What a race.
Yeah, Garrett Hess looks to have gone around in the final lap in that 86. But yeah, congratulations to that too. I believe he led every single lap tonight.
Right.
Can't do much better than that. Won the pole and... oh, Josh. Yeah, we'll have to get a replay of what happened to Josh Patterson as William flips him over the pit wall there, but... yeah, Josh sat there for at least 5 or 6 laps before either of us happened to notice him there. And just sat there for the rest of the race, so... we'll at some point get that for you, but... Aaron will burn it down here at Thompson Speedway Motorsports Park, and your top 10 tonight. Mulrooney, your winner. Charlie Byer started, I believe, 3rd, gets himself 2nd. Connor Brandon 3rd. Brody Gardner 4th. Liam Sheen in 5th. Joe Burgee in 6th. William Schmidt in 7th. Ryan Kendrick in 8th, and will probably come out of here the points leader. Hunter Rupp in 9th, and Regan McCauley with a nice top 10 finish.
I haven't talked about him, and he logs himself inside the top 10. Congrats to him. Malachi Drake, Harry Grindle, after barrel rolling on the back straightaway, he's going to be in 12th place. Kaloa Hankins, unfortunately, was running there at top 3. Gets booted back to 13th place. Carson Poindexter, Enzo Gauthier in 15th place. Jeremiah Bethune, JJ Hill, Garrett Hess, Dominic Howe, Mitch Hobbs round out 20th place.
And Josh Patterson, after spending over half this race in 2nd place, finishes 21st on his roof on turn number 4. Brandon Sampson, 22nd. Alex K. Gretz, 23rd. Chris Nizowski, unfortunately, had to leave early, 24th. And Michael Bianchini rounds out your field.
We'll be right back right after this. Stay tuned. There's more to come as we interview the top 3. Welcome everybody back here live at Thompson Speedway Motorsports Park, getting set to go ahead and interview our winners. I mean, not winners, but our top 3 into the booth. And with 75 laps logged in, the number 2 of Aaron Mulrooney will round himself a winner yet again for the 2nd time in a row in the Street Stock Series. Not in a row, but he won it at Concord, and here he is yet again, another A-main win for him. Aaron, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got a copy, Zeke.
Man, what a dominating performance by you, but you had some competition there this whole entire race. Besides those cautions and such, those long green flag stints were pressing you and such, but luckily you fended off there to get that win. How'd you do it?
Yeah, to be honest, this street stock was actually pretty good tonight. I really liked how it handled, and the track Thompson Speedway has been known for years as a track that has a high line, and it's basically a one groove racetrack. I mean, no matter what happens on iRacing. So I just knew from experience if I got up to the high line and I just rode it the entire race, I don't really think anybody could pass me on the bottom. So that's what I did. Ran my race, hit my marks, and finished first. I'll definitely take the performance.
Definitely, man. You dominated and led all 75 laps. Nobody could pass you there on the low side, and just you fending off that high side just kept you in that position. And of course, picking up your second ever checkered flag here in the Street Stock Series. What does that mean toward your championship?
I'm just kind of racing to have fun here and racing to win. Frankly, I understand how championships are with the point system. And I think I had a bad finish last week. I can't remember if I did or not, and I don't think my guess is that probably puts me out of contention for the championship, but it's whatever. Just race to win and race to have fun is what I go by.
All right, man. 10-4. Aaron Mulrooney will round himself up top after 75 laps of racing at the Thompson Speedway Motorsports Park. Before I let you go, any sponsors you want to thank here for tonight?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Sim Performance Group Esports and Evo Sim Sport.
All right, man. 10-4. Aaron Mulrooney will round himself out top. We'll go ahead and see you around, bud.
Thanks. Have a good one.
You too. We'll go ahead and drag in the 7 to Charlie Byer into the booth, who started I think he started up inside the top 3. I just noticed Byer hasn't really been in a picture, but we'll go ahead and drag him to the booth, and Dewey, go ahead and take this one away.
Hey, Charlie, got a copy?
Yep.
Hey, started third, ran up front the entire race, and came up just short of that too of Mulrooney. He mentioned, of course, this is mainly a one-groove racetrack. You think you could have made the bottom work, or do you think just not strong enough?
Yeah, if I just got a bit closer, I could kind of. Well, you can kind of slingshot off the bottom if you arc it down, right? So I think if I got a bit closer going into the final corner, I probably could have arced it and maybe had something for him. But he was fast the whole time, so congratulations to him.
Yeah, and with Nick Miller not showing up tonight and Christopher Weil not qualifying for the main event, I believe you're going to walk out of here, I think, second or third in points, and definitely in contention for the championship next week. What do you think your chances are?
Well, Aaron's pretty strong, but Charlotte is a free-for-all, so we'll just have to see. It's nice to get some good luck, especially in this series. I feel like bad luck is kind of looming over us in the last few street stock races. So it's nice to get a good finish, and
Yeah, you ran up there all day, so pretty much a mistake-free race on your end. So definitely a momentum builder for the finale next week, man. Hey, before I let you go, any sponsors you want to thank here for tonight?
I think SPM, new team, thanks for picking me up. It's cool to get a second place finish for them, and I think their second race. So SPM, Side Jaffing Productions, RDO3 Graphic Designs, Eel Media, KBRN. I want to thank you guys for broadcasting and the host. So.
All right, Charlie Byer, your second place finisher here tonight and championship contender for next week. Good luck, bud.
Thanks. Have a good one.
And we'll go ahead and drag in our third place runner up into the booth. Goes to number 92, Connor Brennan, who fell back just a bit, but somehow got himself up there in the top 3. Was in the midst with the battle. Unfortunately, Charlie Byer passed him there with the final laps to go. And Connor rounds himself out in third. Connor, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Hey, Connor, man, it was a tough battle there to the end, and unfortunately, you just come up short from Aaron Mulrooney. It seemed that as though the high side was just king, and you just couldn't get yourself up there in the mix. Besides just running him over and such, but do you think you had a shot at Mulrooney, maybe to pass him on the low side? Because you were definitely running at low side very nicely.
Yeah, I think I had a shot. I mean, he was playing during the race. I wasn't really up there. I started second, but I fell back early, and everyone had this certain braking zone. And so once I got behind Aaron, he was running it a little differently, and he was braking really early for me. So I just went to the inside and kept braking where I normally would, but I just couldn't get the run off the corner that I was trying to get on him. And then Charlie got up to me, and he got the outside too. And I was just stuck battling. Time ran out, and I couldn't get back up there. But I think I was definitely fast enough to have a shot at the win there. But there's always next.
Definitely, man. Connor, third place run here for tonight. I know you don't run the series full time, but of course, what does this mean for you and your team proximity and such?
Oh, it's always good to come in and have a good run. I mean, I've always liked this track I mean, I had no practice and I qualified second, which I impressed myself. I didn't expect to do that. So it's just good to come and, be fast. And, it's really good for our team. Like Chris was there and he ran well. Alex ran well until he got in an incident. But it's just, good for our team to be able to come and run good.
Definitely, man. And with that said, before we let you go, any sponsors you want to thank here for tonight?
Yeah, I want to thank Proximity Racing, obviously. Great group. And, yeah, that's it.
All right, bud. 10-4. Connor Brandon going to round himself out in third after starting in second. We'll go ahead and see you coming around for the next race, bud.
Yep.
All right, and that is our top 3 interviewed. And with that being said, what you think of tonight's race, Dewey?
Pretty hectic. That's, I guess, as a baseline analysis of tonight. Of course, the heats of the LCQ races were something else, and calms down a little bit for this main event, but pretty much classic street stock short track racing, and it was nothing short of exciting. So congratulations to that 2 of Aaron Mulrooney on dominating tonight's race and picking up the win. And we'll see you right back here tomorrow night on MSTV as the Super Speedway Series will take the track over at Daytona for the 5th of 6 races there. So be sure to come back for that race.
Bye.
Bye.